Hello everyone. Alright, so I'm actually at home now, okay? And today's live demo will be a little bit more different because it's literally done in a home environment. And then we can relate as pet owners how we can help our pets with their grooming needs, and at the same time also not impose on them or not like make it too stressful for them. So today the thing we'll be covering will be nail clipping and filing, of course. So nail clipping and filing for many pet owners is always a very stressful thing, or like always a struggle, because maybe some of you have experienced like you cut too deep and then they bleed, or some of you, the dogs struggle with you like mad, and then you try so hard but you just can't get it done. So today, with me here, right, we have Chocolate, but he doesn't really know what's gonna happen. So maybe we can just show you like what he's doing now. He's actually just like resting, so he doesn't know what's happening, and that is actually key for any grooming procedure that you want to do at home. You don't want to give them too much anticipation of what's going to happen, especially if you're not very confident of what you're doing. Okay? So today's live demo, right, I will touch on a few areas. Okay, the first thing is we actually have a little question and answer earlier on social media to ask pet owners on what's their usual concerns when it comes to nail clipping and filing for their dogs at home. And we actually have two people that ask questions. So the first one would be, this person mentioned that the dog is always very fidgety, like keeps moving, doesn't stay still. So later on during the demo itself, I'll try and address and I'll try and discuss to see what we can do so that we can help the pet owners in that kind of situation. And also for another pet owner, they actually mentioned that they can't see the quick. So that one is a bit tricky because some of the dogs really you can't really see the quick because the nail color is brown or black or opaque. You can't really see the quick. So for that, I'll come up with a little rule of thumb for pet owners who have that kind of situations. And then for Chocolate today, actually his nails is also not the kind that we can see the quick. So we'll address the issue later as well. So for now, probably I will look through the comments of any of you that have any concerns for nail clipping that I can cover, okay, later on during this nail clipping segment. So maybe I'll just see, you all can just how to cut black nails. Sure, I'll cover that as well, okay, because Chocolate has black nails. Okay, so we'll see what we can do for that. Okay, let's just answer to these three questions. Okay, if your dog has black nails, you can't see the quick, and also your dog cannot stay still during nail clipping, how can we address those issues? Alright, so before we go there, we will actually go through some theory portion first. Understand about the nail first before we even try to do the grooming procedure. Okay, so now, so the nail usually looks like that. This is the nail bed, and of course within each nail there is a quick. Usually, okay, there's always a quick within each nail. Quick is the vein. So if we cut the quick, it will hurt. It will start bleeding and then it will hurt. So we always want to avoid cutting into the quick. Now, let's talk about this. This is the side profile, okay? Profile. Now, the angle of cutting the side profile. So let's see how we can cut the nail. So some pet owners always have like different questions about like, hey Desmond, should I cut the nail like this angle or that angle or that angle? So the important thing to note for the angle of cut, right, it can range from here like this or like that or like this. Actually, all these angles are pretty alright. Okay, what you want to avoid really is you want to avoid cutting it to the extreme. So if you cut like that, okay, this is a no-go because the angle is too too slant, and then you will overcut. So you want to avoid going into that kind of extreme angles, okay? So you want to keep the angle for the nail cut to be this angle, or this angle. After which, okay, you want to use a nail file to file the nails to become a round shape. So the end result, it will look something like that. So this is our goal. Okay, so it'll be rounded. The reason why we want to file the nails is simply because, firstly, you know, our dogs sometimes they scratch themselves, right? So if the back nails is not filed, they will have a tendency to break their skin. Okay, and for the front nails, right, if you don't file it, then when they come to you, they'll scratch you. So you want to try to avoid that as well. Okay, so we'll file the nails to make it round. All these we'll show you on later with Chocolate. Okay, now for the dogs with black nails, for those dogs that you cannot see the quick, okay, this is to address the concern. Let's look at rule of thumbs. Okay, rule of thumb. Now this is the ground. Okay, when they are walking, if the nails are touching the ground, okay, and this is their foot, okay, they will actually, the nails will be pushed back because the nail cannot possibly penetrate the ground, right? So the nail will be here, and then it will cause them to have a pressure have a pressure on their legs and their joints and their back when it gets too long. So you want to cut your dog's nails to a length whereby the nails are away from the ground when they walk. Okay, so now let's talk about rule of thumb. There's no difference, okay, on a dog if the nails are away from the ground like that versus like this or versus like that. So all these three A, B, and C, right? All these three cases, right? There is no negative impact on the dog's legs when they are walking. The only time the legs or the joints or the back is affected, or they have to walk in a different manner, is when the nail is long until it's touching the ground or it's pushing the paw to walk on the rear pad. Okay, when they walk, the nails get too long, push back. The nails get too long, they force the dog to walk on their rear pads. So they do a wrong walking posture and it put extra tension on the legs and the back. So that is what we want to avoid. So as long as, when you do it on your own, as long as the nail is not touching the ground or is just slightly above the ground, that will be good enough. You don't need to do like a super perfect job, because honestly, today's live demo, right, is really just to help you tide through this period. Okay, after this circuit breaker, everyone can bring their dogs back to the groomers. If you're not confident, you know, let the groomers do it. Okay, so you don't really need to worry too much about this. But this one really is to just address the issues of those dogs that have like black nails, you can't see the quick. You just need to get it trimmed such that it is slightly away from the ground. I do understand that there are also certain cases whereby the dogs have very long quicks. So no matter how much you cut, right, it is still touching the ground, man. So for those cases, really is a lot more tricky, and if it's black, it's worse. So that kind of cases, maybe individually you might want to like contact us, and then we see how we can advise you on that. But in the general population as a whole, right, mostly if you can get it slightly away from the ground, be it black nails or white nails, this is good enough. You don't need to get it like super perfect. You don't need to get it like, wow, super close to the quick. Okay, you just need to get it such that it doesn't make your dog uncomfortable when they are walking. Okay, so that's for the side profile. Okay, now side profile angle of cut, we all understand now it is, okay, we cut about this angle, this angle, this angle is fine. Okay, don't go to the extremes. Now let's look at the cross section. Okay, if you look at this cotton bud that I have here, this is an example of a nail. Okay, So cross-section wise, okay, the thing that you want to take note is when we are cutting, you want to cut it flat. Okay, so when we put a nail clipper, it is straight in like that. So the nail clipper is not like this, it's not like this, okay, straight in and cut. So you get a flat cross section. This is the goal. Okay, a lot of times when we see on paper it's only side profile, but now I'll share with you the cross section so that when you're actually doing it, right, it is easier to apply. Okay, so now you understand the cross section, you understand the side profile. We'll move on into the tools, the safety, the handling, and then I'll proceed on to the grooming demo itself. Okay, now when we come to the tools wise, I would usually recommend that you use the plier type nail clipper. There are many different types of nail clipper out there in the market: scissor type, plier type, guillotine type. Okay, the plier type nail clipper is very simple, it's very straightforward. So from both sides, okay, you can cut, and you don't need to worry, because at any side, wherever you're aiming is wherever you're cutting. Okay, very simple to use. And then of course the nail file. This file is just any regular board file. If you have the grinder, that's awesome. But if you cannot find a nail file, you can just use any human board file, or you know, some of the nail clippers that we have at home have this little filing area that we can use to try later. I'll probably use it for the demo later as well to see how far this can go. Okay, and then of course you need stop bleed powder. Okay, this is really just in case. Okay, this one can stop the bleeding in 3 to 5 seconds. Once it bleeds, just put it on. Done. Don't need to panic. Okay. If you don't have this at home, okay, which I think many pet owners don't have, you can actually use maybe like corn flour or rice flour. Okay, this can help to coagulate the blood. But then the thing about corn flour and rice flour is that it takes a while longer for the bleeding to stop. So you need to apply on the nail, and then you need to hold it for a while. Okay, for rice flour and corn flour, maybe you need to hold on for about 10-20 seconds. Yeah. Let's just hope that no accidents happen today or tomorrow or this month. Okay, I'll show you how. Okay, if you follow closely and you ask if you're not sure, you will not have any accidents. Okay, so now that we are done with the tools, I will run through with you some tips and tricks, and then safety, and then we will go to Chocolate, and then we'll get his nails trimmed. Okay? Oh, he's sleeping. So good. You don't want to let him anticipate or let him like, oh, what's gonna happen, you know? When they get into that mood, right, you cannot do anything. You only can play. That's all. Run around with them and then have fun. Okay? Now, I'm gonna give you all an example of how is it to cut a nail. Okay? First things first is you want to understand that nail clipping, you cannot take your time. A lot of pet owners take way too long to cut their dog's nails. Sometimes they can say, oh, like, hey Desmond, I take like, wow, you cut very fast eh. I take one day to cut one paw eh. Okay? You don't need to take so long. Please don't take so long. If you take so long, it only extends the stressful feeling for the dogs, and it also makes you very stressed. So you want to avoid all that. Today, I show you how you can do it. Chop, chop, finish. Okay, chop, chop, let them go and rest. Okay. Now, I'm going to actually draw some markers on the cotton bud lah. This will just symbolize the end of the quick. Okay. So again, the black dots will symbolize the end of the quick. Now, when we want to cut, remember the side profile. The angle is either straight, a bit to the left or a bit to the right. Okay, the cross section, put in the nail clipper straight in, not like this and not like that. So now, let's say this is the dog's nail now. Okay, if I want to cut this, how do I do that? I just put in the nail clipper straight on cross section from the side angle, see, straight, cut. Okay, now, this is not a good example. Why? Because I actually cut it right on the quick. So if you cut it right on the quick, some of the dogs will start to react already, because it is you cut, when you cut your own nail, you cut right next to your skin, that kind of feeling, you just like, oh no, it's painful, then you pull away, then you'll get a shock. So don't cut right on the quick itself. Okay, at home now, remember, we just need to follow the rule of thumb. As long as it's slightly away from the table, just even like slightly 1 mm away is good enough. You don't need to be super perfect and cut it on the dot. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to cut, okay, and leave some leeway over here. Okay, you don't cut so exactly at the quick. So again, side profile, remember the angle of putting the nail clipper, and then cross section, put in straight like that. So 1, 2, 3, cut. Now the next thing I want to share with you is very crucial, is the speed of cutting. A lot of pet owners cut like that. Let me show you. Firstly, they aim, and it takes super long to aim. They're like, where is the quick? Okay, it's here. Okay, don't move. They ask their dog, don't move, like as though the dog understand. And then after that, they put the nail clipper down, and then they're like, is it okay? Is it okay? Is it okay? Is it okay? Then, I give up. Then they're like, very, very scared. Very traumatic. I think don't want. My dog also very scared. So try not to get into that situation. Okay, I show you. Okay, today you can try out this method instead. Okay, you know the angle of cut, you know the way to put the nail clipper in. So I'm gonna trim this part, so we're gonna leave a bit of space in front of the quick as well. Okay, so put your nail clipper down, cut. So this is the exact speed, or even faster. You need to cut it at this speed, minimally. Okay, I'm gonna show you another time. So we're gonna trim in front of this little vein marker here. So put in the nail clipper straight on, and then from the side profile, put down your clipper, cut. So the cutting speed needs to be very fast. Okay, you can take a little bit more time to aim, but when you're cutting, it needs to be fast. Okay, just get it done and over with. Okay, especially when you can see the quick, don't need to worry, definitely won't bleed. Just give more leeway, give it more space in front of the quick, and then just cut it at the right angle. Snap it down really fast. Okay, now another question that pet owners usually have is that, hey Desmond, you say cut very fast, later I cut very fast, then my whole dog nail gonna cut away, then start bleeding like crazy, how? Is that an emergency situation or not? You know, the vets now, the CB period, they apparently only can do the emergency cases, right? So I don't want to risk anything. So how do you cut fast and accurate? That's the key, right? So I've actually done up a few markers over here. I'm going to show you how to do that. Cut fast and accurate. Okay, when we put in the nail clipper, we can take our time so that the nail clipper ends up at the spot where we want to cut. Okay, now after you put in the nail clipper, you put the nail clipper down first. Once you put the nail clipper down, you agree that the nail cannot move already. The nail cannot move. So no matter how fast or how slow you cut, you will be cutting the point whereby your nail clipper is on. So you don't need to worry that, you cut very fast now, right? Your dog will suddenly move and then the nail will move to another position, then you cut the quick. No, it won't happen because you're already on the nail. So the nail cannot move. So once down, cut it fast. See that? I try again. Put in, aim, put down the nail clipper, cut very fast. One last try. Put in, put down the nail clipper, cut very fast. So the speed and the accuracy is both there, and the angle of cut is there as well. So this is something that you can try, and we will actually apply it later with Chocolate. Okay, he's actually still sleeping. You can take a look. Yeah, so he actually quite zen. Okay, so try and keep the atmosphere very zen at home. Just don't make it into like I'm going to cut your nails today at 3 o'clock session, because that's not going to happen. If you plan it, you let him know, right, he will not be there. He will not come for the scheduled meeting. Okay, so now that we are done with the tools, we're done with the theory portion. Okay, we will go on to look for Chocolate, and then I'll share a little bit of safety tips and handling tips. Then we will start with the demo proper, after which maybe I'll get another 3 to 5 questions. Then we will end this live. Alright? Now, so when we approach them, that's another very crucial thing that pet owners need to understand. So earlier, one of the pet owners mentioned that the dog cannot stop moving. So what I want to know more really is your dog moving like all the time? Like 24/7 moving around? Okay? There are bound to be times that they are actually like just resting or just chilling. So the dog move for a reason. They don't move for fun. They move because they want to play, they move because they're scared, they move because they're stressed, they move because they want to go from one point to another. So really we need to try and classify like why are they moving. So if your question refers to they are moving when the nail clipping is happening, right, we will see to that in a bit, because Chocolate himself, right, recently started to react a little bit when doing nail clipping. So it might be because that, you know, maybe he's a little bit old, like he's already 11 this year, and then maybe his senses are also becoming more and more muted. Then he's more sensitive with the touch of things around him. So we will actually address that moving during nail clipping later. Okay, so now we'll go to him and then we'll get it done. Alright? Okay, let's go. Okay, so this is how we want to approach our dog at home. So I put my nail clipper and my file aside, right? So it's not like, oh, I'm going to cut your nails right now. No, it's not really like that. Because if you do that, they will start to be like, what's going to happen? What's happening? What are you trying to do? No, I'm not going to stay here. So it will just be like a natural, like I sayang you kind of session. Ah, good boy. Yes, good boy. So it just be like I'm just coming to you and I'm just like sayang you, okay? And then of course, honestly, right, we talk about handling in this position, there is really not much to handle. Like, okay, maybe one simple tip is you hold your hand like a twist, like that, okay? And then you just take their paw, okay? And then you use your thumb to expose the nail. Can you see the nail? It's literally black, like I cannot see the quick, okay? If I tell you I can see the quick, right, it's lying lah. I cannot see the quick. Okay, now this is the time that you want to explore how much you want to cut, because you already know the angle, you already know how to put the nail clipper, you already know how fast to cut. So what you need to do is you just need to know where you want to cut only. Very simple one. Okay, and then more importantly is the dog is chill. The dog is not like running around. Okay, so for those saying that, you know, like if the dog is always moving, right, maybe you can try and catch them in this kind of situation and then touch them and then like touch their paw. I do know of some like dogs that once you start to touch their paw, right, that's it. No matter what, no matter who, no matter where, no matter when, you touch the paw only, that's it, they run away. So that kind of cases, right, maybe you can wait until the CB period over, then you get the groomers to help. Unless very, very urgent, like the nail super long already, okay? But chances are very slim. Oh. So Chocolate is still chilling, you see. So inside our mind, we need to try to be chill. But the only way to be chill is when you know what you are doing, right? So today, right, you learn some valuable tips, and then you can go and try maybe later if you are confident. And then anything you're not sure, PM us, WhatsApp us, DM us. I'll try and help you as much as I can. As much as I want to help you physically, I cannot. So I have to do it over live to show you how you can try. Maybe after today you can cut your own dog's nails yourself already. So after today, please try if you can, and then share with us to see like your success stories. I really hope to see all your success stories. Alright? So let's try again. I'm gonna take his paw up. Okay, expose the nail. Okay, for this paw, I'm going to show you very quickly how to get all of it done. Okay, so now just expose the nail. Okay, and then bring the nail clipper in and then cut. Okay, so as you can see, he's already like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? So you just need to assure him that it's okay. But more importantly is you need to note the speed that I did it. So it's very fast. Shall we put the nail clipper away and just take a look at that nail that I trimmed? Okay? Good boy, Chocolate. Okay, so Chocolate now is trying to run away already. Okay? So at home, this may happen as well. So what you want to do is, you want to try and assure your dog. It's like, it's okay, Chocolate, don't worry. Okay, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you. Okay? Try not to do it in a way, but you better come, I'll cut your nails. Because when you do it like that, right, it's natural tendency that they will be scared lah. You try someone do that to you, you see you scared or not? Right? So you don't ever like, you come here, I cut your nail. You do that, right? Anybody, any living thing will run away. Not just human, not just dog. Okay? So assure your pet. Let him know that it's okay. Don't worry. It's nothing one. Just cut nail only. Don't need to worry. Okay? But then, if your dog is a kind that starts struggling like crazy, start to poop and pee, I don't know, you know. It may happen. It may be a scenario. Maybe you want to seek the help of a professional lah. Or, and then if not, you can DM us or ask us. Okay? So now, let's take a look at the nail that we have actually trimmed. Okay? So if you can see the cross section is actually trimmed. Okay, it's actually quite sharp. So now, just now you saw Chocolate try to tuck his hand, correct? Okay, how do you cope with that? Because a lot of pet owners, right, when the dogs tuck, right, they're like, yeah, my dog pain, or like my dog scared, or like very hard to control. Okay, a lot of times it's because our grips are too much of like a death grip. Death grip refers to like, you hold here, you die want this paw here. So we don't want to do that. Okay? We call it the rubber grip. Okay? When they tuck, our hand go together, like very rubbery, just follow. Good boy. So our hand is always on. It's firm, yet it's not like the death grip. So you don't want to fight with your dog with like fight a battle of strength. But it's more of like assistance and guidance and trust. Okay? So you still want to, like Chocolate, now he knows what I'm trying to do already. He knows already, he's like, something's going on. I don't like it. I might want to walk away if there's a chance. So today's demo really, right, it's, I don't usually take so long to cut his nails. It's really just to show you all only. So later when the life is over, right, actually I cut the nails very fast one. Okay? But I want you all to take away something. That's why Chocolate is also being very compliant. Chocolate. Yeah, he's being very compliant, and really when you see him at the shop, just encourage him, okay, because he's doing a good job. Okay, so let's proceed on, okay, to the next nail. So put in the nail clipper to where you want to cut, rubber grip, and then cut. Okay, I'll show you again at another angle because you can't see the next nail. Okay, put it like that and then cut. Okay, so we check. Alright, there's no bleeding whatsoever. Now, this nail, I'll cut it over here. It's okay, Chocolate. So over here, put in, and then you cut. Oops, Chocolate. So we'll cut. Okay, now, the dew claw. Remember the holding like a twist? Use your thumb, push away. Okay, and then you see where you want to cut, and then you cut. So, remember the rule of thumb? The rule of thumb is that if the nail is away from the ground, can you see that the nails are all away from the ground already as compared to this paw? So you compare this paw and that paw there. So this paw is away from the ground, it's not bleeding, good enough. Okay, so we just stick to this rule of thumb for this paw as well. I'll quickly get through this paw and then we'll go to the Q&A and then we'll sum this up today. Alright? Because Chocolate, honestly, he's he doesn't know what's happening lah, but he's really doing very well, and I just want to show you very quickly, okay, for this paw. Now I'll trim around here. Okay, so put in and then cut. You can actually touch up a bit. So again, hold your hand like a twist, hold the paw up, just trim quickly. Okay, and then this one, remember when you lift up the paw to cut the nails, try not to lift up too high. I mean, if you lift it up so high, right, it actually justifies them moving because they are uncomfortable, right? So you want to just lift the paw up a little bit. As long as you have the space to get your nail clipper in, that's good enough. Okay, so remember, one last reminder, put in the correct angle, put your nail clipper down, and then cut very quickly, and then all the nails are done. So we did all 10 nails in less than 5 minutes with explanation. So when doing your own, really do it quick as well. Okay, you see all the nails away from the ground. Okay, this one is still a little bit close to the ground. We can just take it a little bit shorter. Okay, and then it is away from the ground already. You can see. Now let's go on to filing. Okay, you take a nail file. See the cross section is a circle, right? You want to file? Good boy. So I usually follow them. So as you see, Chocolate move from one position to another. I just follow. Okay, and I'm not in a very comfortable position, but it's okay. Okay, but your dog need to be comfortable. Okay. Now, when you file the nail, okay, it's a circle. I need you to file from the bottom up. And remember, filing is only to remove the edges, the rough edges, and not to shorten the nail, okay, for this case. So use the board file. You file the edges only. Just file it gently. Same thing, you hold with a twist, and then your thumb push open the hair, and then you file it in a upward direction. Okay, so as you can see, the difference between a filed nail and an unfiled nail, right, it's actually very different, right? You can see that the edges here are very sharp and the edges here are more rounded. So this is what you want to achieve. And then when you put it on the ground, when they are standing up, the nails are away from the ground. You don't hear clicking when they walk. That is good enough really to tide all of us here through the circuit breaker period until we can bring them back to our professional groomers. Okay, now one last demo I'm gonna do is really try to use the nail clipper that we all have at home, the nail file at the back, to see if it works. Let's see if this works. Alright, Chocolate, this is gonna be the last thing I do. Okay, after that you can go and get rest. Okay, so now we will lift up his paw a little bit. Remember, do not twist it or do not lift it up too high. You just want it just a little bit away from the ground. Alright, sorry Chocolate, just a while more, okay? Ayo. Okay, I'm just gonna show you this side here. Let's see if this works. Of course it's not as awesome as the board file that I have, but it still can do some work in terms of like rounding up the nail, as long as you don't mind sharing your nail clipper with your pet, which I think most dog owners wouldn't mind. Remember, using the nail file is really just to round the edges and not to shorten the nail. So get the edges rounded and then can move on. So you see, this is rounded, this is still a bit sharp here, especially the undersides. So cut your dog's nails, remember to file them. Okay, now let's go on to the Q&A. So you can give some thought to what you have seen, and then if you have any questions you can ask. I'll try and answer it before we sum up what we have learned today. Okay? Okay, wow, who's here? Okay, good boy. Yes, hello, hi everyone. Thanks for joining me on this good Monday afternoon. Let me scroll back and see like what everyone has mentioned. Of course, my grooming teacher is here as well. Hi, Almond Lasa Epso. Mopiti. Hello. Okay, I hope I answered your questions. Beauty Paws SG on how you can cut black nails. And hi, Puppy Colors. Let's see who else. I hope you all learned something today. And photograph behind, very nice. Of course, right? Thank you. Okay, let's see. We have I'm watching a video with Saha. I know, right? So sometimes they can be so easily triggered by sound as well. You want to be very, very aware of that. Yes, Chocolate is pretty chill. Oh yes, Almond Lasa episode will be uploading this video up on Facebook so that more people can get help and learn together lah. Can we use food to entice them? Yes, Imagy, of course you can. Food can be used as a good distraction as well as a good motivator for them to associate the procedure to something that is not so scary or something that they can look forward to. So of course feel free to use treats as you are doing their nail clipping for them, and more importantly is the dogs need to understand that the grooming procedure you're doing is nothing very stressful really, because it's just nail clipping. There's nothing to be scared of it about. So if you can use food, you can use toys, whatever, just to make their mood better during or after, to reinforce how they are actually reacting to it, that will be awesome. Thanks HB4, thank you. Good boy Chocolate, yes, he is very good boy. Mei Xing, is it necessary to file their nails after trimming? So earlier in this video, right, if you missed it, you can go and watch it later on. I actually mentioned the purpose of filing the nails, okay? So we usually file the nails is because, especially their back nails, you know, sometimes they scratch themselves like. So if you cut their nails and then you don't file their nails, right, the chances of them cutting their skin is very high, especially if they have like just been groomed or they've been shaved down. If you don't file their nails, right, sometimes they scratch themselves and then they just get cut and they get injured. Okay, so try to remember to file their nails. And then for the front paws, is because really when they greet you, they're very excited, they may scratch you, or they scratch children or like elderly. So this one you might have to take note. Alright, so if there's no other questions, any last questions? If not, we will continue having more live sessions. And then trimming around the eyes. Can I ask you about how to trim the hair near the nose? Okay, for the trimming of hair, right, please continue to follow us on social media. We'll try and I'll try to answer you privately for this one, and then if we have any other live that can touch on that, I'll try and cover that. Just try and follow us for that. That's for ptna.lee. Oh, Patrina, Coco, is it? Some white cookie. What if the dog's nails have been kept too long that the quick grew too? That by cutting the nails short, it's not touching the floor, will make it bleed already. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. So some of the dogs, right, they naturally have very long quicks. So even if you cut the shortest that you can, right, it's already at the quick, right, but it's still touching the ground, right. Those cases are usually the most challenging ones, because what I usually recommend pet owners to do is that, you know, sometimes their nails the vein will recede when you cut close to it. But the thing is, when you cut close to the vein, right, sometimes they will actually react and feel a sensation when it's right at the quick. So I will still encourage these pet owners to bring their pets to professional groomers to get help to cut near to the quick, to not overcut, so that there's a chance of the nail quick receding. Okay, and definitely don't encourage one shot and you cut and then it bleeds and then settle that problem, because I don't think we should hurt our dog to begin with. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question, some white cookie. Yes, so I'll just do a summary of what we have covered today. Alright, so today we started off by going through some certain pet owner, dog owner issues when it comes to nail clipping. So some questions was like, oh, black nails or brown nails, how am I going to like cut? So for that we use the rule of thumb to have like some guidelines to follow. And then for some dog owners, they say like the dog cannot stop moving. So during the demo itself, actually you can see that Chocolate also moves. So we have some techniques like having a rubber grip, you know, the approach, having a more non-threatening approach would help. Okay, and then we also touched on the ways to cut the dog's nails. Okay, the angle of cut, the way to put the nail clipper, the speed of cutting. Okay, so the handling and the safety tips that I covered as well earlier on in the video. If you have missed it, you can also look back. This video will be posted on our social media, so feel free to share with your friends or anyone who you think might need it, because really our goal is to go out there during this period to help pet owners who are unable to help their dogs get their nails trimmed or other procedures done, because unfortunately grooming is not an essential, but all pet owners agree that it's essential. So it's very weird. So we hope the government do something about it, but anyhow, we will still continue to try to help you guys. And if there's any other questions that you might have, just feel free to WhatsApp us, DM us, or ask us on Facebook Live or Instagram Live. And join us for future live sessions, because we really love the interactions, and really thank you all for like taking the time to watch and ask questions. Yeah, so thanks for all your comments and all your questions. We'll see each other very soon. Okay, so you have a good week ahead, and bye for now.